Every child came to this world with the intention of living a free and simple life. But unfortunately, they have no free space to step on except on the carpet already laid by a set of unbalanced creatures called adults who embrace nothing real but deceit and pretense because the world has contaminated and tampered with their emotional balance. There are six different spirits well arranged in proper proportion in every human that every child came to this world with, including you. Those six different spirits are: one, spirit of fear; two, spirit of empathy; three, spirit of jealousy and greediness; four, spirit of happiness; five, spirit of trust; and six, the spirit of anger. If those six different spirits are in appropriate proportion within you, you will be emotionally balanced. But if there is any alteration that makes some of them or any of them to be higher than normal or lower than normal, you will lose emotional balance. Those six different spirits are in appropriate proportion in children, and that's why they are emotionally balanced. This is because the world has never, the world has not yet contaminated children that much. Thereby, those six different spirits are still in appropriate proportion within them. That's why they are the only set of emotionally balanced people. Well done, sir. That's why they are the only set of emotionally balanced people. No adult is. You can only pretend to be. Do you know why? This is because when you newly came to this world as a child, those six different spirits were still in appropriate proportion within you. But depending on the kind of area that you grew in, the kind of people that you grew in their hands, the kind of life experiences that you had, and the kind of informations that assimilated into you, some of those spirits will be triggered to be above normal, while some will be triggered to be lower than normal, thereby making you to lose emotional balance. That is how every adult got deficient of some of those spirits and have some of those spirits in excess. But mind you that the efficiency of any of those spirits or some of those spirits and having some of those spirits in excess has its own side effects. For example, the spirit of fear. If you are deficient of this spirit of fear, there will be problem because the level of your confidence and proudness will magnify above normal, while the level of your consciousness and carefulness will shrink down automatically. And that will subject you into being under the influence of impatience, carelessness, and unnecessary risk taking. These three things will become your daily routine. But on the other hand, if the spirit of fear is magnified within you, the level of your confidence will shrink down, and that can limit you in life because your consciousness and carefulness will be magnified automatically, and that will make you to lose the strength at which you can use to slide away the curtain of fear of the unknown. Thereby, you will hardly take a bold step in life, and that can really, really, really limit you in life. See, the work of this spirit of fear in us is that it helps to maintain keeping us in the state of consciousness and carefulness, and it helps to regulate the level of our confidence because too much confidence brings unnecessary proudness and arrogance, and it is said that proudness comes before failure. Have you seen the ugly pit where this fear deficiency can lead us into? Now, number two, the spirit of empathy. It is this spirit that gives us the motive and want of stretching out helping hands to others. It regulates our selflessness and our emotional attachment. If this spirit of empathy is below normal within you, that is if you are deficient of the spirit of empathy, my brother, there will be a problem because the level of your selflessness and emotional attachment will shrink down beyond normal, thereby making you to become a cold fish. You will see yourself being heartless and brutal. And these two things combined together are what form wickedness. But on the other hand, if the level of empathy in you magnifies beyond normal, that is, if you have this spirit of empathy in you in excess, the level of your emotional attachment and the level of the selflessness in you will be magnified also beyond normal, and you will see yourself being henpecked and foolish, and you will lose the grip of saying no or standing on your ground. You will see yourself displeasing yourself on a daily basis just to please others, even when not necessary. And you will hardly be valued. So someone in this kind of shoe will hardly be emotionally balanced. Then number 3, spirit of jealousy and greediness. It is this spirit that gives us the appetite for striving for more, and it helps to regulate the level of our contentment and satisfactions. If you are deficient of this spirit of jealousy and greediness, you will hardly be moved to strive for more or to hustle for more, and you see yourself being totally satisfied and contented with whatever you have and however you see yourself, and that is laziness. Laziness. That is not laziness, because laziness is like you haven't done something, but you really want to do it, but you don't want to undergo through that stress of doing it. You don't want to stress yourself doing it. That is what is known as laziness. But what I'm trying to tell you here is like you haven't done something, but it is not even part of your plan to do it. It is not even part of your schedule. It is not even in your schedule to do them. If not like that, now you say me and lazy. Then moving on the other hand, if this spirit of jealousy and greediness is above normal within you, that is if you have this spirit of jealousy and greediness in excess within you, that high level of greediness in you will be feeding on your contentment and satisfactions, while that high level of jealousness within you will be feeding on your happiness. You will see yourself being a snitcher, and emotional balance will be very far away from you. Then number 4, the spirit of happiness. If this spirit of happiness is in excess within you, that is, if this spirit of happiness is above normal within you, you will be very silly and unserious most times, and you will lose the grip of your defense out of unnecessary happiness most times, and you will also be prone to unnecessary silly mistakes due to the fact that at the state of being extremely happy, you will be engulfed by a certain kind of emotional attachment that will subject you into at times promising or doing what at the end of the long run your natural self cannot condone them. At the end of the long run you will start regretting. Such is also applicable to someone who is extremely angry, because at the state of being extremely angry, you will also be engulfed by a certain kind of emotional attachment that will make you to act in such a way that after the end of the long run, your natural self cannot condone them. After the end of the long run, you will start regretting them. So that's why I usually tell people that whenever you are extremely happy or extremely angry, that those 2 stages are the stages that you have to be extremely very conscious and very careful of what you do, because at those stages of being extremely angry or extremely happy, that those 2 stages are the stages whereby you'll be engulfed by a certain kind of emotional attachments that will make you lose some sense of consciousness, in the sense that you'll be acting out of emotional controls, in the sense that at the end of the long run you will start regretting them. Then on the other hand, if the spirit of happiness is below normal within you, that is, if you are deficient of spirit of happiness, then free space will be given to temperament, impatience, and unnecessary anger to control. And those 3 things will be feeding on your satisfactions and happiness, and thereby making emotional balance to become very far away from you. Then number 5, the spirit of trust. If the spirit of trust is in excess within you, that is, if you have this spirit of trust being above normal within you, then you will be prone to danger, because your defense will be very weak, in the sense that you can easily be accessible, you can easily be used, you can easily be deceived, and so on. And this is because the level of your consciousness and sensitiveness will automatically be shrinked down, and that will subject you into being extremely careless. This is why anybody who is careless easily trusts. If you observe anybody that easily trusts, you see that the person is in one way or the other very careless. But on the other hand, if the spirit of trust is below normal within you, that is, if you are deficient of spirit of trust, you will see that you will hardly associate yourself with people. You will become very restless, in the sense that you will always be in your defense. The circumference of your defense will be very active and effective, because everybody will seem to be your suspect. You will see yourself being a lone wolf. You will see yourself enjoying being isolated more than associating with people. But that can also limit you in life, because No destiny can be fulfilled alone. If you think that you can fulfill your destiny all alone, then you are lying to yourself. There are people attached to your destiny. Some of them will play minor roles, while some of them will play major roles. And without you associating with people, you might end up losing some of those your destiny helpers or some participants in your destiny. And that can automatically limit you in life if care is not taken. So this is one of the disadvantages of having trust deficiency. Then number 6, the spirit of anger. If you have spirit of anger in excess within you, that is if the spirit of anger in you is in excess, you will become a sadist and unwanting to associate with people, while people also will not enjoy associating with you because it will not be juicy for them, in the sense that you will be hot-tempered, not easily satisfied, and always harsh. You will notice that people will be avoiding you, and this will make you to always be isolated. You will suffer almost the same thing like someone who is having trust deficiency. But on the other hand, if you are deficient of the spirit of anger, that is, if the spirit of anger in you is below normal, your defense will be very weak and the level of your tolerance will be very high, and your forgiving spirit will always be active. And this will subject you into being easily tampered with by people. People will easily disturb you all the time because the aggressiveness in you is always shrinked down. Thereby, you can easily be tampered with. You will be subjected into being a thing of play most times. And this will make you not to be valued most times. You will lose the grip of your defense most times. Now, let me unfold one bitter truth to you. No adult in this world can be 100%, even your parents, no adult in this world, even your parents, can be 100% selflessly happy with your achievement. No matter how they pretend, there must be some particles of jealousness attached to that happiness that will stain that happiness, no matter how they pretend. That your parents appear to be about 90 to 95% happy towards your achievement is just because they know that they will benefit from it either directly or indirectly. Apart from physical benefit, it is also a thing of pride to them. So if you deduct the fact that they will benefit either directly or indirectly from your achievement, you will find out that the selflessness attached to their happiness towards your achievement is very narrowed, is very tiny, in fact, even invisible. I know most of you will hardly believe this because it almost appears invisible. But I really know what I'm talking about. I know what my imagination has told me, and though it is very hard to convert them into words to make it in an understandable way, because most times they appear, let me just say, they appear to be white, maybe white in my head, but no matter how I try to convert them to turn to words in such that people can understand what is in my head, that I have tried my best is only presenting them to be in pale color, that is color closer to white. So it is very hard to convert. That's why I used to struggle before they can change to words, before I can say it out so that you can understand what I mean. But please try to manage it this way. The only set of people who can be 100% happy with your achievement or towards you are children. They are children. They are the only ones who can be 100% happy or angry. When a child is angry, that child is 100% angry. But whenever a child is happy, he or she is 100% happy. No adult can be 100% happy exactly, because no adult is emotionally balanced. The only set of adults who can be extremely happy towards your achievement are adults who are suffering from jealousy and greediness deficiency, and who are having anger deficiency, and those who are having the spirit of happiness in excess within them. And if you check their own happiness towards you, you will see that it is above 100%, which is abnormal. So whenever an adult is happy or angry, that anger or that happiness can either be above 100% or below 100%. It can never be exactly 100%. It is always abnormal. there will always be pretense or a kind of extreme emotional attachment attached to it that will make it to be above 100%. Well, I think I've tried. Though all these things that I've said are just from my imaginations, yours are always different from mine. So you are free to believe in them, while you are also free not to believe in them. Please, I also want you to tell me what your mind is telling you in respect of this in the comment section. Thank you.